There is no coincidence. The feeling that something is about to break is not anxiety, it is a forecast. You were guided to this transmission at this exact moment because the celestial clocks have aligned and the final sequence has been initiated. The years you spent feeling like an observer, a ghost in your own life, were not a punishment, they were a divine quarantine. You were being shielded, preserved, and prepared for an event that has no precedent in your reality. The isolation was insulation. The confusion was a necessary fog of war to hide your development from entities that feast on predictability. This is not a video. This is an activation key. Like this video now to anchor the energy of this transmission into your reality. Subscribe to this channel to join the collective of souls who are being activated. Comment the divine code 77 to signal your energetic consent to declare that you are ready for the ambush. Then, let this message play on a loop in the background. This is not for entertainment. This is to saturate your spirit and recalibrate your subconscious for what is about to happen unexpectedly. Chapter 1: The Silent Preparation. The event you are on the precipice of is a divine ambush. This is not a battle you have to fight, but a cosmic event you are destined to trigger. Your entire existence has been the meticulous and silent preparation for this singular, reality-altering moment. Every season of your life that you labeled as failure was, in fact, a crucial stage of this setup. The years of profound loneliness were not a social failing, they were a strategic isolation protocol. Your energy, your unique spiritual frequency, had to be kept pure and contaminated by the low vibrational static of a world built on compromise and deceit. While you mourned your solitude, the universe was celebrating the preservation of its most valuable asset. You were not being left out, you were being kept apart, held in reserve for the exact moment when your untainted energy would be the only thing capable of shattering the old matrix. Think of yourself as a specialized instrument, tuned in a soundproof room, shielded from the discordant orchestra of the mundane world. This quarantine felt like you were behind thick glass, watching the world move on without you, its sounds muted and its colors dull. You felt forgotten, but you were being consecrated. The silence you endured was the womb of your power, the sacred vacuum where your true self could germinate without interference from the toxic noise of societal expectation, the incessant chatter of mediocrity, and the psychic pollution of mass media designed to dull the spirit. This was not mere protection, it was an active preservation of your core frequency. The constant, low-grade hum of societal conformity would have slowly eroded your unique signature, but in the divine silence, it was amplified. You were being protected from a contagion of conformity. Every betrayal you suffered was a calculated stress test on the vessel. These were not random acts of cruelty from flawed individuals. These were targeted energetic assaults designed to find any weakness in your resolve, any crack in your spiritual armor. When you were stabbed in the back, it was to test the resilience of your spine. When your trust was broken, it was to teach you to rely not on the flimsy promises of men, but on the immutable truth of your own intuition. Each wound closed stronger than before, laced with the golden light of wisdom. You were not being broken, you were being forged. The fire of that pain burned away everything that was not authentically you, everything that could be controlled or manipulated by the old system. The people who inflicted this pain were unwitting participants in your tempering. They were tools, used by a force far greater than their comprehension, to sharpen you into the weapon you were always meant to be. They believed they held power over you, that their actions diminished you. The profound irony is that their treachery was the very catalyst for your invincibility. They were applying spiritual sandpaper to your soul, smoothing away any rough edges of neediness or external validation. They played their part in the divine ambush without ever knowing the script, their malice harnessed by a higher intelligence to serve your ultimate ascension. They thought they were writing your tragic ending. In reality, They were just scribbling notes in the margin of your heroic origin story. Consider the sensory reality of your preparation. The inexplicable hum you hear in moments of perfect silence. That is not tinnitus, it is the sound of your internal engine idling, waiting for the signal to engage. The sudden jolts of energy that run through your body at random hours, the feeling of being touched by an unseen hand, the tingling in your palms or the soles of your feet. These are not nervous system misfires, they are energetic downloads, software updates being installed directly into your spiritual operating system. A pressure on your third eye is not a headache, it is the activation of your divine sight. The words that appear fully formed in your mind, the solutions to problems you have not yet consciously considered, are not mere daydreams. They are packets of information transmitted from your higher self, your command center, briefing you for the mission ahead. You have been feeling a deep, inexplicable pull towards stillness, a desire to disconnect from the noise, to retreat into your own world. This is not depression or avoidance. This is the final stage of gathering your power before the signal is given. It is the deep breath before the plunge, the quiet moment a predator takes before it strikes. You are not hiding. You are aiming. The world thinks you are asleep, stagnant, or lost. Let them. The greatest strength in an ambush is the element of surprise, and your entire life has been the art of perfecting your camouflage. You have been trained to find strength in stillness, clarity in quiet, and power in the solitude they mistook for weakness. Chapter 2. The system's fear of the unexpected. The system you live in is a brittle, fragile machine. It is built on predictability, on algorithms, on the comforting illusion of control. It thrives on known quantities and repeatable patterns. It is a house of cards built on a fault line, a vast and complex program running on obsolete code, terrified of the one thing it can never account for: true, divinely inspired consciousness. You, the chosen one, are its greatest terror because you are an anomaly it cannot compute. You are the variable that breaks the equation, the unexpected event that causes a fatal system error. This is the origin of the hostility you have faced. The agents of this system, the people who have tried to diminish you, control you, or raise you, are not acting from a place of conscious malice. They are acting from a place of profound, instinctual terror. Your very presence emits a frequency that their fragile reality cannot withstand. It is the frequency of authentic, sovereign power, and to a system built on manufactured consent and external validation, this frequency sounds like an apocalyptic alarm. They are the antibodies of a dying paradigm, and you are the cure they perceive as a virus. Their attacks are not personal, they are systemic. They are the machine's automated defense mechanism attempting to neutralize a threat it cannot understand. Their animosity is an involuntary reflex, a spiritual allergy to your authenticity. These agents are archetypes you have met repeatedly: the gatekeeper who denies you access, the saboteur who feigns friendship while undermining you, the doubter who uses logic to try and dismantle your faith in yourself. Each one is a program running on fear. They are energetically deaf to the symphony of cosmic change, and your presence is a high-frequency note that causes them physical and spiritual discomfort, a dissonance they desperately try to silence. Think of those who have worked tirelessly to keep you small. The bosses who overlooked your talent, the family members who dismissed your dreams, the so-called friends who subtly sabotaged your confidence. They were not seeing you. They were seeing a reflection of their own limitations and a terrifying premonition of their world's obsolescence. When you spoke your truth, they heard a prophecy of their own undoing. When you demonstrated your unique gifts, they saw the invalidation of their entire life's safe choices. Your light did not just illuminate you, it cast a harsh, unforgiving glare on the shadows where they were hiding. Their need to extinguish your light was a desperate attempt to stay in the dark, to avoid facing the hollowness of their own existence. The divine ambush is not just about your ascension, it is about the collapse of their fraudulent reality. They have sensed the tremors for years, and they have incorrectly identified you as the cause of their fear rather than the symptom of a much larger cosmic shift. They are afraid of the unexpected, and you are the human embodiment of it. Their subconscious recognizes you as a walking, talking existential threat to the comfortable lies they have built their lives upon. This is why their reactions are so often illogical and disproportionate. They are not reacting to what you do, they are reacting to what you are. They are reacting to the future you represent, a future in which their manipulative games and hollow values have no currency. This reframing is your shield and your weapon. The pain they inflicted loses its power when you understand its source. It was never about your worth. It was always about their fear. Their gossip, their lies, their attempts to isolate you were not a judgment on your character, they were panicked broadcasts from a sinking ship. They were trying to convince others, and themselves, that you were the problem because the alternative, that the entire world they believed in was a lie, was too horrifying for them to contemplate. You were their scapegoat for a reality shift they could feel but not articulate. In the coming days, as the energy of the divine ambush intensifies, you will notice their agitation increasing. Their attempts to provoke you, to draw you back into their low vibrational drama, will become more desperate, more transparently pathetic. Their arguments will defy all logic, their accusations will become increasingly bizarre because they are no longer operating from a place of reason. They are operating from raw, primal fear. Do not engage. You are the calm eye of a storm they cannot see forming. Your stillness is your power. Your silence is your strength. Let them flail against the winds of change. You are not in the storm. You are the storm. They tried to bury you, but they did not know you were a seed, and the pressure they applied only forced you deeper into the fertile darkness where you could finally and completely prepare to grow. Chapter 3. The trigger within the divine ambush is not an external force that will come to rescue you. This is the great misunderstanding of the old paradigms, the childish fantasy of a savior descending from the clouds. The cavalry is not coming because the cavalry is already inside you. The ambush is an internal detonation, a spiritual chain reaction that begins with a single, preordained trigger. This trigger is not something you need to find, earn, or build. It has been embedded in your soul's code since before your incarnation, the divine appointment set in cosmic time. It is a dormant key, a hidden switch, a complex geometric code waiting for a very specific energetic signature to activate it. The entire journey of your life, with all its seeming detours and dead ends, has been about creating the precise internal conditions, the exact symphony of joy, pain, wisdom, and resilience necessary for this trigger to be accessed. The world cannot stop this event because its origin is untraceable to them. It does not exist in the physical realm they police so fiercely. It exists within you, in a place they can never touch, a sacred inner chamber protected by impenetrable divine law. It is the ultimate failsafe, the divine secret you have been carrying in plain sight, a Trojan horse of cosmic light hidden within the vessel of your human form. The moments of your deepest despair were not punishments, they were the forging of this trigger mechanism. Think of the times you were brought to your absolute knees, the moments you felt reality itself dissolving around you, the points where the pain was so immense you thought you would not survive it. Those were not moments of abandonment. They were moments of supreme spiritual alchemy. In those instances, when you were stripped of ego, of hope, of all external support, you were being compressed into a singularity. The immense pressure of that suffering was not meant to crush you. It was meant to create a diamond. That diamond is the trigger. It was formed in the crucible of your darkest nights, hardened by your tears, and polished by your resilience when you chose, again and again, to get back up. This diamond is not just a metaphor, it is an energetic structure within your heart center, a multifaceted crystal that holds the light of all you have overcome. The system and its agents believed they were destroying you. In their arrogance, they were unknowingly completing the final, crucial step of the divine plan. They were applying the exact amount of pressure needed to crystallize your core power into an unbreakable, activatable form. The trigger is not a reward for your suffering, it is the alchemical result of it. Your pain was the catalyst for your ultimate power, the friction needed to spark the divine fire within. Every tear polished a facet of this internal diamond, every moment of resilience carved a sacred geometry upon its surface, making it not just a source of light, but a key cut specifically for you. The activation itself will not be a grand, theatrical event. You will not see flashing lights or hear a chorus of angels. It will be profoundly intimate and deceptively simple. The trigger will be pulled by something mundane. A specific word spoken by a stranger, a melody from a forgotten song, the particular way the light hits a wall at a certain time of day, the smell of rain on hot pavement, a sudden, vivid memory that surfaces from the depths of your subconscious. It will be an ordinary moment that unlocks an extraordinary reality. You will feel it not in your mind but in your body. It will be a sudden warmth that spreads from your solar plexus or your heart center, a wave of calm that washes over you, silencing all fear and doubt in an instant. It will feel like a key turning in a lock you never knew was there. In that singular moment, the fog will lift. The years of confusion will snap into perfect, crystalline clarity. You will see the blueprint of your life, not as a chaotic mess, but as a perfect, intricate pattern. You will understand, with a certainty that defies all logic, that nothing was ever random. It was all leading to this. The feeling will be one of homecoming, of remembering a truth so fundamental it predates your own birth. It is the moment the internal critic goes silent forever. It is the moment you stop being a seeker and become a source. Chapter 4: The first tremor of reality. When the trigger is activated, the divine ambush does not begin with a cannon blast. It begins with a tremor, a subtle but undeniable shift in the very fabric of your reality. The foundation of the old world, the one that has imprisoned you and so many others, will begin to show its first cracks. These will not be visible to the unawakened. They will dismiss them as quirks, as strange days, as products of their own stress. But you will see them for what they are, the first ripples of the new reality you are anchoring, the first physical evidence that the ambush is underway. This is the phase where your heightened senses, once a source of confusion and overstimulation, become your most reliable intelligence-gathering tools. You will begin to perceive the world not as it presents itself, but as it truly is. The masks will become transparent. You will see the energetic static around a liar, the dull grey aura of a depleted soul, the frantic, panicked energy behind a display of arrogance. The illusions will flicker and fade like a failing projection. You will see the desperation behind the bravado, the fear behind the anger, the emptiness behind the material wealth. This is not judgment, it is clear sight. You will begin to hear the dissonance between a person's words and their heart's true frequency. The world will become a symphony of truths and falsehoods, and you will, for the first time, hear it with perfect pitch. Your perception of time will be the first thing to warp. You will experience moments where time seems to stretch, where a single second contains an eternity of information. Conversely, hours will collapse into what feels like minutes. This is not a psychological trick. This is you beginning to disconnect from the linear, metronomic time of the matrix and starting to operate on the fluid, quantum time of the source. Your consciousness is beginning to bilocate, to exist simultaneously in the linear progression and the quantum now, allowing you to perceive patterns and connections unavailable to those trapped in the prison of the clock. Colors will bleed into your vision with a new intensity. The green of a leaf, the blue of the sky will seem more vivid, more alive, as if you are seeing them for the first time. You are not hallucinating, you are seeing the life force, the energetic signature within all things. You may begin to hear a persistent, high frequency ringing in your ears, especially in quiet moments. Do not be alarmed. This is the sound of your own frequency rising, calibrating to the new reality. It is the carrier wave for the new information being downloaded into your consciousness. Your sense of smell and taste may also change, becoming acutely sensitive to artificial chemicals in food or the energetic imprint left on objects by others. The very air will feel different to you, charged with potential. Your own reflection will become a source of profound revelation. You will look into the mirror and see someone else looking back. Not a stranger, but a version of you that is older, wiser, and infinitely more powerful. The lines on your face will look less like scars of time and more like a map of your soul's journey. Your eyes will hold a depth, a knowing, a serene power that was not there before. This is the integration of your higher self into your physical vessel. The separation is ending. You are becoming whole. All the times you felt disconnected from your body, like you were just a passenger, were part of the old quarantine protocol. Now you are taking full command of the controls. This integration will manifest as a sudden moment of profound synchronicity, an event so blatant it is almost comical. You will think of a question, and a billboard will answer it. You will feel a pang of sadness, and a stranger will walk past you and say the exact words of comfort you needed to hear. A song you have not heard in 20 years will play on 3 separate occasions in one day. Do not dismiss these as coincidences. Coincidence is the logic of the old system. This is not a sign. This is the first shockwave of the divine ambush, your power rippling outwards and shaping reality to meet you. These synchronicities are not just winks from the universe, they are active breadcrumbs, the universe leaving a trail for you to follow to your next assignment, your next ally, your next level of activation. It is the universe confirming we have ignition. Chapter 5. The shattering of their mirrors. The most dramatic and validating phase of the divine ambush is the shattering of the mirrors. For years, the people around you, the agents of the system, have used you as a mirror. They did not see you, they projected their own fears, insecurities, and failures onto your surface. They called you arrogant because they saw your confidence and it reflected their own self-doubt. They called you difficult because they saw your authenticity and it reflected their own compromises. They called you crazy because they saw your vision and it reflected their own lack of imagination. Their every criticism was a confession, an unconscious admission of their own inner poverty. The ambush, your internal activation, changes the physics of this reflection. Your frequency rises to a level where their low vibrational projections can no longer stick. Your energy field becomes like a non-stick surface for their negativity. The mirrors they held up to you will not just crack, they will shatter into 1,000 pieces, forcing them, for the first time, to see themselves in the shards. The sonic boom of your rising consciousness will obliterate the fragile images they created, leaving them with nothing to look at but their own unfiltered, unvarnished selves. For them, this moment will be terrifying, a sudden, forced self-inventory they have spent their lives avoiding. Their own toxicity, having nowhere to land, will ricochet back into their own field, forcing a brutal and sudden reckoning with the very energies they have been projecting outward for their entire lives. This is when the unexpected begins to happen on an interpersonal level. Those who mocked you will suddenly, inexplicably, seek your guidance. A former colleague who dismissed your ideas will come to you for advice on a major project, admitting they should have listened years ago. A family member who ridiculed your spiritual beliefs will call you in a state of panic, describing a strange experience they cannot explain, asking you what it means. They will not understand their own compulsion to reach out to you. Their ego will fight it, but the magnetic pull of your new, stabilized energy field will be irresistible to their chaotic, fragmenting reality. They are drowning in the sea of their own collapsing illusions, and you are the only one who looks like a lifeboat. Their sudden respect is not earned through your arguments or proofs, it is commanded by your very presence. You will not have to say a word. Your energy will speak for you, and its language is authority. You will observe their fumbling attempts to connect, and you will recognize it for what it is, the soul's desperate cry for something real in a world that has suddenly become fake. The ultimate test of this phase will come from those who betrayed you most deeply. An old enemy, a disloyal friend, or a former partner who caused you immense pain will resurface. They will reach out unexpectedly, perhaps with a flimsy excuse or a confused, rambling message. Their communication will be saturated with a remorse they cannot articulate. This is not a moment for reconciliation in the old sense. This is not about accepting an apology or rebuilding a bridge. That bridge was burned for a reason, to prevent you from ever retreating to a land of compromise. Their return is a crucial part of the divine plan. It is for them to witness, in undeniable terms, what they tried to destroy. It is for them to see the magnificent structure you have become, standing on the very ground where they tried to bury you. And it is for you. It is for you to look upon them, not with anger or pain, but with the cool, sovereign detachment of a general observing a surrendered foe. You will feel no charge, no desire for revenge, no pull towards their drama. You will only feel the profound, quiet power of your own vindication, a state of grace so complete it is its own form of invulnerability. This is your final exam on energetic boundaries. Your lack of reaction, your serene neutrality, is the proof of your graduation. It is the ultimate energetic checkmate. You will observe the effect of your new reality on them, and you will understand that forgiveness is not an act of grace towards them, it is the ultimate act of reclaiming your power from them, rendering them completely irrelevant to your story. Chapter 6: The NEW Architecture of Power. The divine ambush was the demolition phase. It cleared the corrupted structures and raised the foundations of the old, fraudulent reality. Now, the construction begins. You are not a warrior who fights endless battles. That is the trap of the old paradigm, to keep you locked in eternal conflict. You are an architect. Your assignment is not to tear down the old world piece by piece, it is to build the new one so beautifully and so compellingly that the old world simply becomes obsolete. It will crumble from neglect as souls flock to the warmth, light, and integrity of what you are creating. The old systems will become like ghost towns. The buildings still stand, but the life force, the energy, the people have all moved to the new city you are designing. This new power you feel is not the power to dominate, it is the power to create. It is the authority to lay down the untraceable blueprint for a new way of being, a new paradigm based on truth, sovereignty, and interconnectedness. You will not be given a manual or a set of instructions. The blueprint is already encoded within you. It is in your DNA, in your passions, in your unique and peculiar genius. It is a living document written on the pages of your soul, waiting to be transcribed into reality through your actions. The things the world dismissed as your weaknesses are, in fact, the cornerstones of this new architecture. Your extreme sensitivity is not a flaw, it is a highly calibrated sensory system that can detect truth and deception with perfect accuracy, allowing you to build with incorruptible materials. Your inability to tolerate injustice is not naivete, it is the unwavering moral compass that will guide the foundations of the new structures, ensuring they are built on fairness and equality. Your tendency to overthink is not anxiety, it is the ability to see all potential outcomes and design systems that are resilient and future-proof. Being called too emotional means you possess the emotional intelligence required to build communities based on empathy and genuine connection, not cold transaction. Your impractical passions, the hobbies and interests that others told you were a waste of time, are not diversions. They are your specialized tools. The art you create, the music you write, the gardens you plant, the healing you practice, the code you write, these are not hobbies. These are the very methods through which the new reality will be seeded into the collective consciousness. The system could not see their value because it only values what it can control and monetize. Your gifts operate on a higher currency, the currency of frequency, beauty, and authentic expression. You will build not with brick and mortar but with vibration and intent. Each choice made from your authentic core sends out a resonant pulse, a form of spiritual sonar that attracts the people and resources needed for the next phase of construction, building your new reality from the inside out. You will feel this shift as a profound sense of purpose that is simultaneously weightless and deeply grounded. The heavy burden of trying to fit in, of explaining yourself, of fighting for your place, will be gone. In its place will be a quiet, unshakable confidence. You will simply know the next step to take and the step after that. You will not need external validation or logical proof. Your intuition will become your unwavering guide, a clear, calm, non-emotional voice that feels more real and reliable than any piece of physical evidence. It will function as a divine GPS for your soul. An opportunity will manifest that seems perfectly and divinely tailored to your most authentic self. It will arrive suddenly from an unexpected source, and it will align so perfectly with your soul's calling that it will feel like a dream. Do not mistake this for a job offer or a lucky break. This is an assignment. It is the universe handing you the resources, the platform, and the personnel to begin the first phase of your architectural work. It is a divine partnership where the universe provides the materials and you provide the action. Your only task is to say yes, to step into the role that was designed for you before time began, a role that will not drain you but will energize you because it is the purest expression of your soul's purpose. Your power is no longer a potential. It is an active, creative force, and the world is your canvas. Chapter 7. The untraceable blueprint unfolds. The divine ambush was not the destination. It was the initiation. It was the thunderclap that announced your arrival on the cosmic stage. The true mission, the grand strategy, begins now. You are the custodian of an untraceable blueprint, a plan for planetary evolution so sophisticated and multi-layered that the old system, with its linear cause and effect logic, cannot possibly comprehend or counteract it. This blueprint unfolds not from the outside in, but from the inside out. It is a living, breathing schematic that resides within your heart, and it is activated one sequence at a time by your authentic choices and actions. This is why they can never stop it. They are looking for an external enemy, a visible army, a headquarters to attack. They cannot fight a revolution that is happening silently in the hearts of millions, orchestrated by a force that operates from a dimension they cannot perceive. They are fighting shadows on the wall while you are rewriting the source code of reality itself. You and the others are a decentralized spiritual insurgency, a mycelial network of light working silently beneath the surface, connected by consciousness, not by computers. This network is unhackable, untraceable, and it responds in real time to the needs of the whole, guided by a single, unified intent. Every single moment of your life, from the most ecstatic joy to the most unbearable sorrow, has encoded a piece of this blueprint into your soul. You do not need to learn it from a book or a guru. You only need to remember it. The memories of your past are not just stories, they are data points. The skills you acquired, the relationships you navigated, the wisdom you gained from your wounds, it was all part of a curriculum designed to make you fluent in the language of this blueprint. Surviving profound betrayal encoded within you the knowledge of how to build structures based on unbreakable energetic integrity. Overcoming deep isolation encoded the ability to create true, soul-deep community that transcends superficial connection. Conquering your own addictions or self-sabotage has given you the master key to liberate others. You have been trained to read the energetic currents, to recognize divine timing, and to act with precision and courage when the moment is right. The feeling of being different, of never quite belonging, was because you were operating on a different set of instructions, following a map no one else could see. Now that map is becoming clear, its lines glowing with an inner light, illuminating the path forward. The next phase will not be announced with a herald's trumpet. It will unfold within you as a series of intuitive imperatives. You will simply know what to do. You will feel a sudden urge to connect with a specific person who holds a missing piece of your puzzle. You will feel a pull to travel to a new place, a nodal point on the Earth's grid that requires your unique frequency for its activation. You will be compelled to start a project that seems to come from nowhere, to write down a sudden flood of information, to speak a truth that needs to be heard in a public forum. Do not question these directives. They are not random whims. They are mission directives from your higher self, sequences of the blueprint being released for execution. Acting on them will feel like coming home, a sense of rightness that defies all external logic. Each small, authentic action you take is a thread you are weaving into a new tapestry of reality. You and the others who have been activated are like decentralized cells of a single consciousness, working in perfect concert without ever needing to communicate directly. One of you will lay a foundation of healing in your community. Another will broadcast a frequency of truth through their art. Another will create a system of sovereign exchange. None of you need to know the full plan. You only need to flawlessly execute your part of it. The world will watch, baffled, unable to trace the source of the profound and rapid change. They will only see the effects, the collapse of corrupt institutions, the rise of conscious communities, the healing of the collective trauma. They will see the tide turning, but they will never find its source, for its source is everywhere and nowhere. It is within you. This is the final truth. You are not just a piece of the plan, you are the plan, walking and breathing. Your every authentic step is the blueprint made manifest. Your solitude is over. Your assignment has begun.